Breaking news. Today marks 1 year since healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed. His accused killer, Luigi Mangione, back in court for a hearing. And tonight, we're learning more about what happened in the moments leading up to Mangione's arrest at a Pennsylvania McDonald's and what happened after. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman joining us now. So, Katrina, you were in court all day and you just went through some key evidence in this case. So what did you find?
Juliet, we did, and all week we've been seeing these exhibits that haven't yet been made public. We've finally gotten some of them. One of them was a 911 call that was made by the manager at the McDonald's where Luigi Mangione was spotted and ultimately arrested by the police. Let's take a listen.
Blair 911, what is the address of your emergency?
It's not really an emergency. I'm a manager at Plank Road McDonald's out here on the Boulevard.
Okay.
And I have a customer here that some other customers were suspicious of, that he looked like the CEO shooter from New York.
Okay.
So they're just really upset, and they're like coming to me, and I was like, well, I can't approach him, you know.
No, of course not. All right, honey, what's your name?
And Juliet, we have then been watching moment by moment what happened when police came and ultimately went up to Luigi Mangione. We've watched body-worn camera footage from various angles. So far, 2 of the officers who were the first to get there that day have testified on the stand. We've also seen various items that came out of the search of Mangione. That includes a wallet. It was a blue wallet with a little design on it. Inside were thousands of dollars, $100 bills, as well as some foreign currency. There were some various objects, a piece of string, a jar of peanut butter that were found on him. He had a tan beanie, which the officers put on the table and actually put a lot of the items that they found inside. We also learned today about a couple of things I hadn't heard about before. There was a bus ticket that was found on him. It was from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, as well as another one with some bus information on it. There was also a piece of paper. It was folded up in Mangione's pocket. They collected it at the McDonald's. Today in court, we saw that spread out. It seemed to be some kind of list. It said Best Buy, digital cam, water bottles, trash bag. He was also wearing a necklace, and on it was a USB. We know that that was entered into evidence. Something interesting that the defense pointed out is when we were looking at some of these images, there's an NYPD label on them. And the reason that's important is what has been happening in court is the prosecution is trying to establish that everything that was done when Luigi Mangione was approached and arrested, taken into custody, was done according to protocol in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The laws in New York are a bit different. So what the defense is trying to show is that this was all done in association with investigating a crime that they believed happened in New York. Both of those officers who first got to the McDonald's said that they immediately recognized him as the suspect in Brian Thompson's murder. They had seen his photos on Fox News.
Wow. And you know, that 911 call was certainly a case of see something, say something. So we do know Mangione spoke to officers. What did he say to them?
That's true, and that's a key part of the issue here as well. Juliet, the defense says that statements that he made to those officers before he was read his Miranda rights shouldn't be allowed in because they were having some conversation with him for about 20 minutes before he was even told that he was under an official investigation or read his Miranda rights. Some of the things that he said were the officer to actually testify today had some time alone with him. The other one had stepped outside, and it was hard to hear what Mangione said on the tape, but he recalled Mangione saying, "I know what you guys are up to. I'm just going to wait." And this patrolman Fry said to him, "I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying that we got called here today." Because initially they told him this story that they had been called because he had spent too much time at this McDonald's. He was sitting there too long. At one point, Mangione asks them, he says, "What could I do next time so that this doesn't happen?" Because they had gone up to him. He had to remove his mask, another thing that you might see in those images, gave them an ID. Ultimately, that ID turned out to be fake, which is why they took him to custody under Pennsylvania law on suspicion of forgery. But this whole time while they're waiting as well, Juliet, all of these other cops are coming in. After about 13 minutes, I think there ended up being at least 10 or 13 cops. He asked them at one point, why there were so many cops there, because they still had not told him exactly what was going on. For a long time, they were just claiming they were checking his identification and he would just be allowed to leave once they had confirmed who he was.
Katrina Kaufman, thank you.